Markets are going down and down and down. It's a pretty hard time if you had a large pot of money invested in stocks and shares or cryptocurrencies or one of the many other markets that seem to be going down. But gold and silver are holding strong. In fact, they've gone up a little bit since last week's big old market crash. So where will it be in the future? Is this stuff the only investment that you might be able to make that will actually keep you safe and make money? Or is this just everybody's favorite word, transitory? Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble. Now today I want to talk about silver and gold holding steady in face of adversity of various different market crashes and falls that we're seeing. Massive reductions in stock and share markets as well as cryptocurrencies. But gold and silver are holding steady. They in fact have gone up a little bit, which is great. However, a lot of people are confused as to why they haven't gone up even more than they should have done or could have done. Now, of course, gold and silver are not the silver bullet to when stock prices go down or up. It's not a converse or index linked movement. It's just another commodity that we as human beings have attributed value to. And it's very interesting. A good friend of mine said the other day that there's absolutely no reason why gold and silver should be more valuable than anything else other than by which what we put value upon it as humans. And he's right to a certain extent, but also he's wrong by others. And I want to examine some of those reasonings here today. Now, stocks and shares going down is obviously concerning for a lot of people around the world. For us silver bugs, for us silver and gold stackers, it's a potential time by which we could see massive returns on our gold and silver. Now, if you're a hardcore stacker that doesn't want to even look to sell any of that gold and silver, it's preserving that wealth. It's that peace of mind, that insurance in your pocket. However, for a lot of people, if, for example, you are looking to purchase something this next month and your savings now are worth a lot less than they were the other day because you had them invested in Bitcoin or in the stocks and shares market, selling some of your gold and silver might be a viable option. And it is common that we see gold and silver hold steady and increase when there are market troubles. That's normal. That's what we have come to see and realize with the markets of gold and silver over this last 50, 60, 70 years. There are peaks and troughs. It goes up and down. It can vary left, right, and center as well. Don't get me wrong. And it's very hard to predict. But generally speaking, holding this stuff over a long period of time is a surefire way to keep that money safe. Right now is an interesting period that we're going through, though. We are seeing rampant inflation, massive, massive increases in the cost of living. But gold and silver don't seem to be going up quite as much. And that might be an indication that what we are seeing right now is more temporary than a lot of people think. It's a troubling time in the world. We can certainly all agree on that. And there are various different factors at play which are leading to all of these increases in prices for everything. But gold and silver have not been drastically affected just yet. And it's causing a lot of frustration in the world of various different silver stackers and gold stackers who are hoping and expecting and perhaps wanted to see these massive increases in gold and silver. It's important to remember and keep grounded, though, that gold and silver are this insurance bet against the worst case scenario. Gold and silver are good for holding wealth and saving money, and that's one of the mechanisms that I use them for, to make sure that I'm putting money away that can't be touched by the falls in the stock market or the change in the cost of living prices. Now, there are, of course, different considerations if you're in the UK or in a different country other than the US dollar, because gold and silver are priced against the dollar. So if your currency starts to fall against the dollar, it makes everything more expensive. And we saw that here in the UK not so long ago when gold was still at a really high price. But that's another great insurance policy to have gold and silver for, if your currency isn't as stable as you think it might be. So there's often this relationship between gold and silver and the stocks and shares markets and various different other markets around the world, and how when one goes down, the other goes up. And that's not always the case. And in fact, we know this as a fact because when the pandemic hit and the lockdowns came in, silver fell off a cliff. Now, physical stuff is a different question in their own right. And of course, the availability and supply chain issues that we're all experiencing right now, of course, are driving premiums up. And that's something not to ignore, of course. However, generally speaking, when stocks and shares go down, you'll see silver go down quite quickly as well. And that's because it's this easily sellable asset, this easily liquidatable asset for a lot of these big players on the markets to be able to then pay their margin calls. Now, gold, on the other hand, is much more secure. And there's a reason why governments around the world have tons and tons and tons of this stuff in their vaults. And for me, as a stacker, I see nothing safer right now than putting money into gold. Now, whether or not you agree with the idea of a currency like the dollar or the pound or the euro or whatever it is that you're paying your bills in going to zero, I don't subscribe to that idea. I think we're in a troubled time right now for sure, but there are definitely going to be times that are better than we are experiencing right now in the future. But I am, of course, worried, and I want to keep my wealth safe as best as I can. So having some of this stuff on a monthly basis is a way to keep that cash at that particular month safe. I am able, I should say, to look to sell it if I need that cash. But I always budget responsibly. I always make sure that I have got enough to pay the mortgage, enough to pay bills, put fuel in the car and food on the table. That's something that a lot of people often put to one side, thinking, well, it's okay, I'll be able to do it with this pot of money. But that pot of money might not get you as far as it once did. And that's the big concern that I have right now. And it's hitting us all as we go throughout our normal lives. I was away this last weekend and I was driving over 500 miles, nearly a full tank of petrol, and it cost an awful lot more than it once did to fill up my car. And that's obvious for a lot of people right now. So gold and silver's position within the markets right now is a really interesting one. And I do think that we are on this interesting plateau where gold and silver are at pretty high prices. Gold more so than silver. Silver seems like a cheaper deal right now for a lot of people. And with stocks and shares coming down massively, in my opinion, it represents an opportunity to perhaps just wait and see where the markets are going to go. You know, stocks and shares are cyclical. They go up, they go down. And just because we've seen a couple of weeks of pretty big drops doesn't mean the system is collapsing completely. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an investment guru. I don't know what the future is going to hold for a lot of these different markets. But it's evident to me that the world that we live in is not going to completely collapse. It might struggle more for a long period of time. And that is why gold and silver for me will be very beneficial. But if it really did collapse completely, if the dollar went to zero, there would be more problems than just trying to get cash for your gold and silver or going down to the grocery shop and paying for stuff with silver. It's just not practical. As I said, I might be wrong, but that's my own thoughts and opinions on the subject. And I'd love to know what yours are, so please feel free to comment down below with your own thoughts and opinions on where gold and silver are right now in relation to all of the other big markets. I think it's really a difficult topic to talk about, and I see so many different videos come up on my feed on YouTube or recommended videos when I start watching some of the more sort of grounded channels. You do get these doomsday sayers and naysayers saying that we are on the cusp and now is the time to buy. Be wary of the Trojans bringing gifts, is what I say. If somebody is telling you that now is the time to go and buy all the silver in the world, and there's their affiliate bonus code link, just have a think about what's right and buy responsibly. That's always been my message here on YouTube, and it will be my message for a long time. So comment down below with your thoughts and opinions. I'd love to know what you think, and if you have enjoyed our video, put that thumbs up down on the video as well. It helps everything through YouTube algorithm. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, like 75% of all the views that I get, then make sure you hit subscribe, because we're on our way to 40,000 subs, which will mean a giveaway. So you don't want to miss out on that. Hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications, then the alarm bell is there for you as well. Otherwise, that's it from me. A big thank you to you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one. And as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.